What's that? Yeah. Thompson said there's a Zoom option.
Hi, Alan. Okay. Now I got it. Here, you gotta turn this off. Which one do we?
Hi, Corey.
Oh, hold up. No. Okay, you gotta. Good thing we don't have a long agenda tonight. Where's your meeting at? Because you joined with the computer audio, you can't do that. Oh, that was my fault. Right. Leave computer audio. Because they're using that. So can you guys still hear us? Hello? Alan? Oh, already joined by phone, there you go.
Okay, oh, okay,
So,
okay. Let me click into this.
did you do the already joined by phone?
Yeah, we're already,
Okay. Start video, yep.
Mike, if I email you to have
Yeah,
sending to me, does that work for you again?
yep. Easy peasy.
Can you hear us though? Or is he even on here anymore? There he is now, there he is. He like disconnected.
All right.
Alan, can you hear us?
I can, yes, thank you.
Okay.
So smart, we're so smart.
Technology's great. All right, officially call this meeting to order. Wow, thanks for getting that fixed. So we did not have a meeting last May 28th, so the minutes looking at are from May 14th. Any changes, edits? Do you want to make a motion? How do you have it? I have it as, oh, here, yeah, I have it as.
Oh, I'll make a motion to approve the
Daniel,
minutes.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, second.
Thank you. Sorry. All right, and then, Mike, if you want to give an update on Public Works?
Okay, I've typed it up, but, I'll just run through it really quick. Stormwater project's going good.
Yay.
It's just going really good. So they started putting the big pipe in this week and it's, I think it's gonna go relatively fast because they've done all the prep work and everything lowered. We have one gas line left to lower, hopefully tomorrow or Thursday, but it shouldn't impact progress. So everything's online with that. We're still kind of, there's 4 intersections on Broadway that go into the sewer with the stormwater. We're trying to get change orders to add those into the project and have MDOT pay for that change order. It's been verbally agreed to, but so far, no plans have been drawn up or nothing, no design, so that's it'll happen. It's just, that's the only thing that's kind of lagging behind on the stormwater project. We got a lot of the galvanized lines that were the city's responsibility from the main to the curb stop replaced, so that's good. 2 of them were leaking, so that's good. Wastewater, we got the grant submitted. We had a sewer main line collapse. I think that was between now and the last meeting.
Yeah,
Right now, with the groundwater being high because the creek came up, we're seeing some really big flows at the lagoons, which is normal and seasonal. We're gonna try and get out tomorrow and Friday while the water's high and just visually survey manholes and see if I can identify where it's coming in. I'm pretty sure we know where it's coming in, but to verify it.
where do you think it's coming in?
On that line that collapsed over here between Platt and Hagen, then it swings over into Platt and it goes up into, by Finn Park. That one's running a lot of water, and the one that's between Hauser and Broadway down by the Lupine, where the guy's pumping a bunch of water out of his house right now. You can see it when you drive by.
saw that.
That sewer main
Oh, which house is that?
is running a lot of water.
Is it the one right on the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they took it really hard during the flood. So I noticed there was someone down here on Platte pumping water this morning too.
It definitely come up along here. We installed a new Helisive out at Lagoon last year. It's a screen that pulls out garbage out of the sewer, inorganics. Having some problems with that, so we're working with the manufacturer trying to get that fixed. We've had a couple service line repairs we worked on, and we had one of the 4 new hookups for that little VRBO place by the Lupine. The other thing with the, it's not on here, with the sewer, we got the solar panels to work at the sewer plant finally. So, they're producing
Yay.
like 41, yesterday they were averaging 41 kilowatts. I got
How long are they down?
the computer said they went down July 23rd of last year.
Oh, wow. Oh. Okay. So do you think that'll impact our electric bill?
Sure not gonna hurt it. I mean, it's gonna help, yeah. 41 kilowatts,
It's a lot of.
a lot of power.
I signed all those today, and that was a lot of money for West
No,
It was a lot of water and sewer.
I think we'll see a difference. I'm gonna try to get out there, have Jeff, we gotta play around with, in July, we're meeting with Northwest Energy theoretically to look at that meter, our solar meter that's out there. Cause I'm still not, I'm convinced there's a meter issue in the beginning and it kinda got resolved, but I wanna make sure, so we're gonna try and keep track of what we're producing and what their meter says we're producing from the 2 different things.
Yeah.
So that we have some data when we meet with them in July, so. Water, we just got the final design for the bypass project and it's called the 2023 rehab project, even though won't happen until probably 2025, 6, but, we got the cost estimates for those in. They came in quite a bit higher than we were all expecting, because that's what they do. Like, I was hoping for around 1.5 million on the bypass, and it's 2.3. So, we're looking at different strategies on how to fund them, and just playing around. We got to look at a lot of numbers, see where our rates for water, I think, are good. I got to go over with Lonnie and Chad. I think there's room in there to do an SRF loan without changing the rates, and typically, like for each one of these projects, we're to do that, they offer 50% forgiveness. So if you borrow whatever, $1 million, they forgive $500,000. Periodically, they're looking for bigger projects, and the bigger projects, they forgive 75%. I wanna see if we can put these two together and make it a big project and get 75% forgiveness. Cause that would
That would be nice.
that would be more free money for us.
Yeah.
But no, we're a long ways away from figuring that out. Just some normal stuff. We had one water leak we fixed last week. We had several curb stops put in. Been working on pothole patching, trying to grade some alleys. The FEMA paving project, which was awarded last year, is still on hold just because it's gonna overlap with some of this plat work, so we wanna get up plat and done before we do that.
Mhm. Can we back up to alleys?
What's that?
Can we back up to alleys?
Yep.
What, we have a really bad one between 15th and 16th and McGillen and Grant. It happens to be
Basically,
where I
it's
live.
just been triage with whatever phone calls I get. That's where I send the guys. So 15th and 16th between,
McGillen and Grant. And, it's pretty bad.
we'll probably be doing alleys on Friday.
And,
Wednesday, then next 2 days I got them booked with other stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, before we'll get that one on the list. In the meantime, on Park, we're gonna put down some dust control just 'cause that's been getting really dusty with all the people going in and out of Rotary Park until we get it paved.
I saw we got a bill from the county for that.
Yep. Yeah, I just tacked it onto their contract.
Okay.
And hopefully they're gonna spray it tomorrow or Thursday. The big EDA grant that I hope we get, for 3.7 million. It was submitted about a week, 10 days ago, or 10 days, 2 weeks ago. The way it was submitted was, it was kinda informally submitted first, and then it came back with comments, which is good, and then tidied it up and resubmitted it. We're still getting a lot of positive feedback from EDA, so keep your fingers crossed. They said a decision by late June, so I put down mid-July.
What would that money do? Would that just be for streets in general?
It would be specifically for curb, gutter, and total asphalt replacement of all the streets that were basically disturbed during phase one of stormwater. So it'd be, part of that would be on Fifth, but not the whole thing, I think. I gotta look at my maps. But it'd be coming up Platt a little bit, across over, down to whatever, Oaks maybe,
Oaks or Hauser, or
yeah.
whichever one it decides to be at that
Yeah, it
point.
depends on what block you're on. On the pool,
Fingers crossed hard on that one.
Mhm.
yeah. Pool, been busy with pool. We got open on June 1st. Got new pool manager, running it. Kim's still helping quite a bit, so that's good.
I saw her yesterday.
We got pretty much everything on their punch list done. Startup went good. We've got some minor issues we're dealing with, nothing major. Got a switch on the boiler that needs replaced, and a little bit of an issue with a float on the splash deck, but, well, they're very minor. Parks, been doing a few things with parks. We got all the sprinklers up and running except Lions Park. We're waiting for parts. They should be here hopefully tomorrow, before it gets too warm and burns it up. Been mowing. The big Arbor Day tree planting is Saturday, June 15th. I think we're sitting really good for that. The board and Sarah and Roger have done a ton.
Amazing job.
And I think we're pretty well set up. It's gonna be a busy Friday afternoon and Saturday morning, but, I think it's gonna go good. And we're, helping BRTA with the trail up there on the city ground where it switchbacks up the hill.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, what's happening with that? Is that where we're trying to do that land swap with?
well, we're just fixing the trail.
Fixing it?
I don't know anything about
Okay.
that. I mean, I think
Just fixing it, okay.
it had asphalt on it and it is
In rough shape.
gotten bad and there's some
Yeah.
bad ankle breakers in there and, we're actually gonna go up there and we're gonna tear it all out on that switchback, try and move it a little further. There's an old road bed there, like, 4 feet further out. We're gonna drop it down a little bit to that, extend it a little further so that hopefully we can lessen the grade a little bit. And then we're gonna resurface it with like gravel and bentonite so that we don't have the asphalt problem. It'll just be easier to maintain.
Yeah.
And that's it. Still on the.
It'll still be a switchback though?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
On the to-do list, we're, trying to get some stuff on the capital improvements plan. Lonnie and I are gonna sit down and hopefully finalize some budget stuff tomorrow and the normal stuff. TIS and lead and copper stuff. I did put together we met with DOT last week on Tuesday to discuss the downtown sidewalks and all the vertically challenged joints. Basically, they came with our agreement in hand and, basically if it's spelled out pretty good in there. If it's a total replacement of 6 feet or longer, then it's DOT's responsibility, and if it's maintenance, it's ours. On Thursday, I went through with a sidewalk guy, and we kind of inventoried everything along there in front of 63 businesses or buildings, and wrote down, what it was, whether it was something that could be lifted, whether it had to be ground, whether it was a 6-foot replacement. I kind of put all that together into a little package, for the mayor and Lonnie to look at, and we'll see where that goes. We did a little trial run today, and it went good, I think.
Better than it was.
Better than it was, yeah. It's not, with all this, it's gonna be, better than it was. It's not gonna be like new sidewalks, but it will bring us, I think we can get us over with some work and some money to the point where the sidewalks are approaching ADA, where we're near that, 1/4 inch, limit. And it would require hiring a guy to lift them because of the logistics of it. Hiring someone to come do the grinding is problematic in that most of the people with the equipment don't like grinding sidewalks. They do slabs prep and it's a lot better work, so. And the other problem is, with hiring a grinder, we would like to see that work occur like from sunrise to 9 o'clock and then they're gone. The mow back and forth would kill us on somebody from Billings or Cody. So I looked at the city buying a grinder and we could work, in that early morning area, do that. That's the way it's kind of structured. In terms of funding, I kind of threw out a scenario where during the budget, when we budget this year, we try and use some of the resort tax money that goes into streets for a portion of it. Because a lot of these offset joints are around where the curb stops were replaced in 2012. It was pointed out that when we did our walkthrough at the MDOT, like, well, and they're right, there's a lot of them are where the curb stops are. So I think we could probably pull a little money out of water to help pay for it. And then I put in there that the businesses that are benefited from it should kick in a little money, like not that much. I think I put $300 in there. And that way it kind of, everybody's got somebody, and in that, there's 5 areas that I identified as total replacements over 6 feet that I would try and get MDOT to do, but they would do that after everything's lifted. So, but that's still kind of in
In the works.
it's very editable at this point. Could get edited right into the garbage can.
How are things on the lead and copper service line, is that?
It's chipping away at it. We're gonna be,
50% or?
no, we're gonna have it done, by October. We are gonna have a large number of unknowns, which I don't really like. I mean, this is the second one of these I've done. The first one, we strived really hard to not have any. That's just not possible with what we have here in Red Lodge. So we're gonna have a lot of unknowns, and I think, and they keep changing the rules on this as they go, but I think we have 7 years after, so till 31 to resolve the unknowns. So that's how we're gonna play it.
The reason that it's different here, is it just because of where the water lines are?
No, it's just the amount of
2031.
information and stuff, like, you know, like in Shoto, we had, going back to 1914, whenever a water service went in, they did a card. And they wrote everything down, and they had a drawing. And we didn't have it for everybody, but enough. And then the other thing that was nice was, I had the same thing I'm using here, our record drawings, because those indicated what kind of pipe was in the ground when they found it. Ours don't in Red Lodge. The other thing that we don't have here is when they put meters in Shoto, it was like 2002, they actually documented all the pipes. So it's all in the book, so it was a lot easier. And you have to have, you know, some kind of documentation you can cite.
Yeah.
And say, you know, I know this is copper because of this record drawing, or this card, or this meter thing, and we just don't have it. We have nothing, so.
Gotcha.
But we'll make the deadline. It's just gonna be like, we're gonna get like a D on our inventory, because we're gonna have lots of unknowns.
So sending out that letter,
Mhm.
when the mayor, when the water department sends that letter out to all the homeowners,
That'll help,
that'll help.
yeah.
Well,
And-
did they already do that? I mean,
Yeah, they
Yeah, they
pictures
did,
are
and we've
in-
got, I don't think we got half back, but we got some, and they'll get incorporated, and it'll be helpful.
We did
So,
all the places we manage, and Tony told me that I had to do it for our house, and I have not done it yet.
I haven't done it for any of ours, but, I mean, I remember getting it when it was like middle of winter, and it was really cold, and I'm like,
once
oh
we
my
get,
goodness, not happening now.
and I think there's big cities that are gonna be in the same boat we are. And I think the kind of the strategy that the EPA's come out with is, you know, they want that inventory, because then it tells you where you gotta go fix your deficiencies, tells you where you need it. It gives you a starting place to go, okay, I need to do 15 North Platte, and then check it off.
And they're looking for lead, right?
Well,
They don't want it to be lead.
they're looking for lead by, basically, if you put in the spreadsheet, if you put an unknown in there, it comes up as lead.
Oh, okay.
So they're basically saying that if you don't
Worst
know,
case scenario.
if you can't document what it is, it's lead.
It's an incentive, I guess, to get
Great.
it done.
It's a mess. I mean, they've created a beast here.
Well, they don't want another Flint, Michigan,
Yeah,
basically is what causes, right?
but I feel like there's other ways to go around it. I mean, we test for lead,
Yeah.
you know, and we've been testing for lead for decades. And, you know, I think that if you have communities that occasionally get hits, then, yeah, if you're in,
Do you test that at the sewer plant, or where do you test
in,
it?
in a homeowner's house.
In the, oh, okay, so just if it comes out of the tap. okay.
You can test your own house for lead. You can do a water sample at your own house and send it in yourself.
Mhm.
Like if you think you have really old plumbing and, you know, your water's orange because, or whatever, you know, see what that is. You know, is it just iron or is it?
Well, thanks, Mike, for that
Yeah.
update, that was very helpful, and, you've been busy.
What's that?
You guys have been busy.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Next on the agenda, or last thing, is, Parks and Sustainability Board update.
Yep, and, fortunately, you kind of touched on it already. There's a couple of other pieces too, but, just for parks, that is the Saturday for the tree planting. The Parks Board has been just cranking away on it. I feel really bad that I have not been nearly as helpful as I should be. But, and then there's also a Smokey the Bear event at the library this Friday, where they'll have a table set up. They're gonna do like some leaf coloring and stuff, just trying to help promote that. So that starts at 9 a.m. at Rotary Park. There'll be a training first and like a little kickoff party, and then divide and conquer with planting trees. A lot of Mike's crew has already been digging holes, so a lot of holes are pre-dug, which is nice. And then I think they said it's what, 20 or 30 minutes per team to dig a hole?
Right, depends on the team, probably.
That's
Yeah.
How many rocks they have?
Yeah, how many rocks?
That's the big one. So they already have 20 volunteers as of this morning, which is great. Probably get a few randoms that show up too, but everyone's encouraged. Volunteers also get to take trees. So you get a tree designated for you, and then there's 100 trees that are going to be just given away to folks in the community, one per family, one per household, and those will be picked up at Baldwin's. One thing to keep in mind with that is there'll be someone there to help you organize and show you what's going on. But just make sure you take a truck. You're not gonna be able to fit in the back of a little Impreza, yeah. There you go, right, just right through the sunroof, but, and I think they said that should be wrapping up around 2:30 on Saturday, and then just a little after party at the brewery, I think is what they were talking about too. In terms of sustainability board, I see we have Alan and we have Corey around. So with that, I know that they were prioritizing projects last.
We've got a couple of updates.
Cool,
Okay?
excellent. I'm just gonna let you do that then.
All right.
Okay.
Alan, you wanna go first?
Sure, yeah, I'd be glad to. So this is a little update about the solar on the pool. Kim over there at the pool was kind enough to be able to find and email to me what the total lifetime kilowatt hours produced by the solar panels up there on the roof, and it was 7,535 kilowatt hours, and that's in its lifetime. And so I had to go back and look through some old correspondences to figure out when those panels were actually activated with the net meter connection, and that was approximately June 15th of 2023. And Kim's readout was from June 10th, so we're talking about a year, maybe slightly less than a year. And so that 7,535 kilowatt hours, I looked up the original estimates provided by the solar installer, and the array was estimated to produce 7,000 kilowatt hours per year. So that's pretty good. Right at what we were expecting, maybe a little bit over. I wanted to kind of put that into perspective, what the cost savings were. I don't have an exact rate for what the kilowatt hours cost, but it should be right around 12 cents per kilowatt hour. And so that comes out to just over $900 saved per year by energy that we're producing right there on site. So that's pretty good. It's good to get the verification that it's producing as we were hoping to, and so that's the information there.
Alan, can you repeat that? How many cents per kilowatt hour was that? Oh, okay.
Sure, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, got it.
oh yeah, another thing, there was a question, about, whether the, internet connection was, necessary for those, solar panels to do their job. And I did some, just looking online on those Sunny Boy inverters, and, seems pretty clear that the, internet connection is not required for them to do their job. The reasons to maybe have an internet connection would be for anyone to be able to log into their computer and go to the website and see online what the lifetime production has been, and also to potentially do any remote diagnostics if they're ever not performing up to snuff. But I don't believe that when the array was originally installed, that it was set up for that internet option, for it to upload its production data to the internet. So I let them know that it seemed pretty clear to me that the added cost of that internet connection for the sake of the solar panels was not necessary. I'm not the installer who originally did the work, but it seemed pretty clear for that particular inverter. And so that might be another way to be able to save some money on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, that's like $259 a month.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be really nice if they didn't have to have that.
No, Lonnie and I talked about this morning, and we'll probably, I mean, they'll want internet there,
During summer,
but then
Yeah.
we'll have to talk to them and figure out what's the best way to do it, whether we go into vacation mode or
yeah.
do a
Yeah.
disconnect, reconnect, I don't know.
You probably know a guy that knows.
Yeah, we'll.
Well, cool, that's great.
Yeah, thanks for that update, Alan.
I have the second thing that we wanted to give you a little update on. I think it was last year, it might have been 2 years ago, but I think it was last year, the Sustainability Board, looked into, and I believe we did apply for, with, other communities for a grant for funds from the Federal Highway Administration for electric vehicle chargers across the state. And we applied to have 4 level 2 chargers to be put in over at the Civic Center. And I don't know, we kept trying to find, remember?
Yeah.
We kept trying to find what happened to that trail.
Essentially, it got buried in all of Courtney's emails,
Okay.
and so when that
Remember that.
transition happened, it took a while to find anything.
So anyway, so now, the good news is that, the Federal Highway, Administration has opened up a round 2 of funding, and, includes the availability of previously unsuccessful applicants, which I guess we were. And so they would like to see if we would like to be reconsidered for funding. So, and what happened was, this was 4 level 2 chargers in the Civic Center parking lot. The, funding request was $110,000 approximately, and the city match would be about $27,000. So, I'm reading to you this letter from,
Hey, Alan, do you have a
Uh-huh.
bird?
Your child,
a bird.
I'm muting you, Alan.
Okay. Okay, and it doesn't commit, if we, apply for this, it doesn't commit us, it doesn't commit DEQ or the city to anything, and that, this guy's hope is if we're awarded funds, there might be some room to request flexibility in the budget, since the, application is a little stale after a year and costs have changed. So, but here's the kicker, we need to know, we as a city need to let the, Federal Highway Administration know by July 1, which is coming right now, if we want to be considered at all. And I think Brian was gonna take the questions to the mayor. I forwarded this email to the mayor as well as to Mike. And I don't know where it is, what the status is of it right now. So, I haven't heard anything from the mayor about this, and this is, well, anyway, so, is this something that, we
Do
should
the,
even be
do the
considering?
charging stations, are they full a lot of the time for visitors, the current ones? I guess that would be a question,
I
do we need
think
more?
that in the summer, they get activity, especially in the summer. So, and I don't know, we don't have a camera and we're not monitoring them. I'm hardly ever over there. Maybe, Mike, you can answer that question.
Well, I'll ask Rob, because he spends a lot of time down by doing stuff at the bathrooms. I know he was working on them the other day, because there was something broke on them. I'll ask him.
Yeah,
But I know when I've been by there, I've never seen it full. I've seen one there.
Yeah.
okay. And I guess to me, that would be the question is there a need for it right now? Or do we, you know, or are we planning for the future, like everyone's driving electric vehicles and we need them, you know, that type of thing. And I have, with those electric charging stations, do most cities, do they charge for the use of them? Or is it all free?
They almost all of them charge for the use of
Yeah,
them.
okay.
But our current ones, according to the, I think it was a resolution, or I can't remember what it was, I know it was an MOU, but anyway, the city pays for the electricity, and there is a donation box. I don't know who checks the donation box. I think we had this conversation. I think Lonnie was gonna assign somebody, or somebody was gonna check that, or maybe you know, Mike, I don't know. I don't have any idea what happened.
They don't trust us with cash money.
So, anyway.
Where does that get budgeted out of? Like,
Yeah.
if we were to do that, 27,000, does it come out of,
Well, the match
Streets,
for that would
parks.
probably, yeah, it would either be
Okay.
streets, or it would either be, probably resort tax or
Yeah.
streets,
but
or,
it's still gotta get into a budget, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it would have to.
So what budget would it come out of?
I think the current ones, because they're over by the park, they probably got paid out of resort
Or
tax, but
parks
I think it just depends on,
Yeah, I feel like that tracks with resort tax versus like streets.
yeah,
Well, but it's gotta get into a budget before it gets spent.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no resort tax.
I think that would be a good question for Lonnie, on
No,
how that would.
I'll ask her where we pay that electric bill out of, because it'd be the same place.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So
And-
that's an answer that you would probably need before you submit.
Right, we just have to let, the Federal Highway Department know that we are interested.
Okay.
It doesn't mean we're gonna get it or anything.
Right.
We even have
Right.
applied for it. It just lets them know that
To put you on the list.
we're interested.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and then when we install them, do we want them to be the kind that, you know, they pay for? When they-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
would think
I
that's-
just kind of, I mean, I do get a lot of complaints from citizens about having, you know,
I've
free
heard that since
electricity
I've been
for-
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I can't remember what it is, and maybe Alan would remember how much it is per year, but, it's certainly, you know, it's not a huge amount of electricity,
Right,
so.
and I could make the argument that if resort tax paid for that, because it's for visitors that are coming into town spending money, that type of thing. But I guess it's just a good conversation to have.
And we have had an issue in the past with locals with electric cars going in and just kind of helping themselves.
Right.
So we, you know, but that was just one or two instances.
Right.
And so, but I guess I'm
We
looking.
know who
to
they are,
see if-
there aren't many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one Cybertruck that I saw over the weekend.
Yeah. I guess I'm just looking to see if, and if we can, continue this, this
For six,
grant operation that started, you know, a year or 2 years ago. Probably about a year and a half now.
Ellen, are you raising your hand?
Can you unmute them?
I can unmute him, or he can unmute.
Can you mute it?
Yeah.
There you go. Were you raising your hand, Ellen?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Was there a question a minute ago about how much the electricity at the four city EV chargers was costing the city per year?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you know that answer?
Yeah, in 2022, that was this from a spreadsheet that Courtney shared that went from like 2017 to 2022 midpoint or so. In 2022, it was, I believe, 6,500 kilowatt hours per year. So that's $850 or so of electricity. Let's see, before that was a big bump up from 2021, which is, I think, less than half of that, 2,500 kilowatt hours per year. And I'm not aware of what the 2023 or 2024 year-to-date consumption has been, but it certainly could be different from what it was in 2022.
And as we get more and more electric cars, it's probably going to become more and more.
Yep.
Northwestern Energy keeps putting up our rate.
And the EV chargers that are over by the park, Lions Park, they're dating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. So,
But the
Could
new
we
one,
just sorry,
no, go ahead.
could we replace those with the new ones that are for pay at that same spot?
possibly, sure,
Mhm.
sure.
Just upgrade them, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe that would be a little bit less cost anyway, because they're,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they've got the pole, and I don't know what's on.
I know in school's talking about doing something with that parking lot at the Civic Center as a long-term project,
Yeah, this seems like,
so.
Probably don't
and
want
since we already have it down there, maybe
And it's
that would
gonna be a big, if they do that, it's gonna be a lot of, it needs tore up, and the railroad tracks that are still underneath
Mhm.
there need to come out, and it's
More
gonna be a,
trucks are still in there?
Mhm, you can see them if you look close.
Yeah, it's a bad,
It's gonna be a more than just a facelift over there when they redo that. It's gonna be a tear it all out.
Are they
Get
just
rid of
gonna
it all.
do another parking
Start-
lot there?
Yeah. That's what superintendent told me the other day anyway.
Gotcha.
So if that, Federal Highway Administration grant, if we said, yes, we're interested, would we be able to just change that and change the scope of the work, do you think?
I'm sure we can. This email was from, somebody from Montana DEQ. I'm sure we could. You know,
Over there, or replace the two?
So, and you guys need to know by July first, ideally sooner. Just thinking it's like budget time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, looking just
I
from,
think we're saving at
from
the
my, and this
school,
is a
working
Lonnie
out
question, but
those electric cars.
we're going through negotiations and looking at budgets, and, I don't know where $27,000 sits, especially since it's not in any budget, because I can't even think of what budget parks maybe it would come out of.
Right.
But,
Does it have to be city funds to apply for this?
oh, as far as I know,
Okay.
as far as I know, because it would be a city, it would be a city project.
Okay.
Can I say something about the city EV chargers, the current ones?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, they are several years old. But as far as I'm aware, they're all functioning just fine. Or at least as far as I know. I do remember,
there was
2
one that
years
might
ago?
not be working right now, but I'll find out.
okay.
Just a little
2 years
piece
ago?
where you plug it in broke.
Oh yeah, sure. That happened 2 years ago. The one of the chargers, and we got that replaced maybe a year and a half ago at a total cost of, I believe, was $1,000. And some members of the community, we just grassroots raised $500, and I believe the city matched the other $500, and it was replaced. And I think all the other hardware, which I imagine costs the vast majority of the cost to install new chargers, for example, the city center, the civic center, that's, I believe that's all the underground hardware and the electronics, which are not, as susceptible to getting worn out from just years of use as the cords are, and like the part that you plug in. So I believe, I don't know, in my experience, the older city chargers have worked great, and I think they're in just a fantastic location, obviously. And the cost to replace one, just from its wear and tear 2 years ago, was just $1,000. So yeah, I'm not sure what the scope of that larger project of the Civic Center is, but I imagine it would probably involve a lot more of the permanent, not prone to wearing out equipment, which would not be exposed to, the sun and the elements and the heat and the cold and stuff like that. So I guess what I'm saying is that the durability of the components that are in the old and the current EV chargers is probably doing better than would be apparent from the wear and tear just on the, the exterior parts, the part you plug into the car and the 8-foot rubber cord as well.
Okay. Thank you, Alan. Do either of you have anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's it.
There's another person online, 1606, is that us?
That's us.
That's us, okay. Do you want to say anything, us? Yeah, all right. Yeah, nothing, okay, well, I guess that is all we have, so we can adjourn. Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Oh, Mike, I was gonna ask you a quick question. We used to have an RV dump at the chamber.
The Rotary Park?
No, at the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, okay.
And, it got shut down. And I didn't know, the city stance on possibly allowing that to reopen.
I'll look into it.
Okay.
I think part of that, and I'll see what happened with that one. I'm kind of surprised Town Pump has one, because
They do, I just, like, the
The
line
D-
for that is already,
the
out the
DEQ
door.
kind of, they kind of stepped down on those a little bit, because especially with, not so much with big lagoon like ours, but like with mechanical treatment plants, it can affect the biology if somebody dumps something bad in there.
right, yeah, I just was, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I was working in the chamber at the time when Town Pump came in, and, Town Pump, the chamber shut down because they charged for, RV dumps, and Town Pump does not. And so they just thought it was just not cost effective to keep going.
Right.
Because people,
Is there
They're
a need
wintering.
for one now?
Well, I just know that anytime that now, on a Sunday, if you go to Town Pump, the line is out to the roundabout with
Really?
campers trying to get in to dump.
Yeah.
So we really do, in the summertime, we really do need another alternative, and I don't know, I was just kind of more thinking as a resort community
Where?
to offer more
Yeah.
than just one in the whole town.
I'll look
But-
into it.
It, not necessarily, probably we do that.
All right, I'm going to go home and end this meeting, all right?
Oh, could I raise my hand?
Oh,
Sorry,
please,
one
yes.
last question. I was just wondering if there were any updates on the possible implementation of the Northwest Energy Solar grants for the Public Works Building and the Recycling Center.
They're in the works. I've got them printed out, and I haven't filled out the application for is it the net meter or power, small generator production facility?
Yeah.
I apologize, that's just, I'm gonna do it, it's, they got under a stack. But it's in the works, Alan, we're moving forward with them, it just gotta pick up the speed a little bit, so.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Hey, if there's anything I could do to help, filling out paperwork or whatever, please let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at them tomorrow, and I will, get hold of you if I have any questions. I certainly
Awesome, that's
might,
great.
so.
I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, thanks, everyone.
I
All right,
wrote
thanks,
this on my
Alan.
list
Thank you.
before. So we're there.
now I'm ending it.
Yeah,
That's why I was.
now, end meeting, yeah, there you go. And then it'll disconnect this call at the same time.